So, here is the video explaining the first video, the WilderTech video, the techie one. This is the wilder side of WilderTech. Wilder side. I wasn't planning this when I came up with that name, but it has worked out rather fortuitously. Anyways, I'm gonna be doing a lot more of this fall. Making my way out to my bear stand. I've got about 25 pounds of apples in my bag. Another 25 that I'm switching hand to hand here. And I did have the rifle slung, but trying to bushwhack sections of this. It's about 1 kilometer, broken up by a little bit of single track trail. And trying to do that with no hands is difficult. So as much as I like to have a rifle handy, a little bit more handy when I'm walking into an area where I know there's several black bears feeding, living, eating, and I've got 50 pounds of really ripe smelling apples on me. But having it in the pack is still closer than having none at all. Or not having it. I gotta pause here for a second. I'm not too worried about making noise. I'm still pretty far from the set, and it's early in the season. I'm going to be gone for the next 5 days, so I'm trying to just dump a bunch of apples out there now. I won't be able to. I'm just going to narrate over myself as I sit here 3 days later at home editing this video. Another key aspect of making these videos again for me is going to be just giving me something to do that I can pivot to when I'm stuck at home with a sick 5-year-old. That's huge. Just got to stay productive. Okay, done another few hundred meters. Just going to stop and catch my breath here. Had a chance to collect my thoughts. But, yeah, I haven't put out a video in a while. A lot's changed, as it does in life. Since I've got two young boys now. Quit drinking. That's new probably since the last video that I made. I do not drink anymore at all. It's been a couple of years, 2.5 years, I'm not sure. I'm not really keeping count. And it's something that kind of just happened organically, so it hasn't been too much of a struggle for me at all. And I don't really miss it. So the boys are older now. Going to start getting back into the backcountry and back into the bush. I've started bear hunting this year. The spring was my first season. Didn't get out a whole lot, but had some good success baiting and learned a lot. We're back at it in the fall. I've changed the setup a little bit, and I'm really happy with the new stand. So we get some apples in here. It should be pretty productive. So the channel's rebranded, WilderTech, and we're going to do the wilderness side of things, camping, hunting. I'm going to have the kids in the videos and talk about raising boys in the bush and my thoughts on that, and try not to say too much. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people that use their kids and maybe expose their kids too much on the internet and YouTube, and yeah, it's kind of the way the world's going, but it's also not natural. So I'll leave that up to them when they're old enough to make that decision. But when they're kids, they'll be in the background. You might see some shots of them, but it's not going to be the focus of my videos. More so me just surviving, being a father, and trying to start a business. I've never really been able to stay in one place very long. The one thing that I did do that probably held me in the longest was tree work. Climbing, arboriculture. It was really good for me at the time. I was a bit of an adrenaline junkie. The exercise obviously is good for anyone. I've struggled with my share of depression. Who doesn't? I think it's pretty common, but the biggest thing for me is remembering what I need to do to stay out of that mindset, and part of that is being outside. Just going to jump in again here from the editing desk at home. But I think another big part of dealing with depression for me, and probably for a lot of people, is just talking about it. And I've got some great people in my life. My wife, first of all, who's just she's always there for me, and I try and do the same for her. And whether or not anybody's listening to these videos, I think just listening to myself talk about it as I edit is helpful. And I know there's other people out there going through stuff like this, so maybe the potential to help somebody else through speaking about it, it also seems to be something that helps and something I want to do. So a little bit more insight there as to why I'm jumping back into YouTube and what the intentions are going forward here. Starting a business and using social media is, I struggle to filter myself. Not necessarily filter myself, but I like to speak my mind. I'm pretty conservative. I own a lot of firearms in Canada. That's a rough position to be in these days. It seems like everybody's out to get you. And I own those tools. Those simple machines is what they are, to put meat on the table and protect myself. Back from the editing desk here again. I think what I'm trying to convey here is a lot of people, especially in Canada, are probably reluctant to speak about firearms as an interest or a hobby in relation to their business, which is really unfortunate, because part of doing this is, for me, having the freedom to do what I want to do. And one of the more successful pieces I've made so far was actually a piece of wall art that was a M1 carbine rifle 3D relief. So just feeling like you have to be reluctant to pursue those things because it's going to hurt your business, it's just a shitty, kind of unfair place to be in. But whoever said life was fair, right? It's supposed to be smooth. Try this first. There we go. Just to prove I wasn't kidding. That's what was in my backpack. There is a barrel full of apples. There's some other feed in there. I've got some beef ration. Indy, come here. Indy, psst. Come now. Smelling the bears. Come on. Yeah, smell like bear. Come on. Come. I'm not too worried about having her out here this early in the season anyway, but they're coming in anyways. So yeah, 25 pounds in there, 25 pounds in there, 50-pound apple run. And this is my barrel. I've got it deliberately set up so the hole is off to one side, and I've cut this out in a square and folded. These edges are all really smooth, nothing sharp there, so it doesn't wreck the bear's arm. I've got it set up so the bear's reaching in here with his right paw, hopefully. My stand is over there, and I'll have an almost perfect quartering, slightly away broadside shot, which is, you want to get their arm up out of the way because their elbow protects a lot of the vitals in a bear. They've got a different anatomy than a deer. So if you don't get that bear to reach up into the barrel, there's a high chance that that shot is not going to be, it's not ethical, and you're not going to get a good clean hit on the vitals, so that bear is going to go a long way potentially, and you will wound or lose your animal. It's not what we want. We want ethical, clean, humane kills. And this will make them last a little bit longer too. We'll just huck a few of them out into the bush all around us. I like to throw them into trees, where you see I mash some up, rub them on the trees, stick them on sticks all over the place. And then this will spread the scent around even more, and it'll make the bears have to work a bit. Keep them relatively close. We'll know this is a good area for food, and they'll have to spend a bit of time looking for apples, and it'll buy me time between fill-ups. roll them out there. Love it. There's the goodest of girls, Indy the bear hunter. This is my tree stand that is inspired by a design I learned from my old friend's late father. Taught me a fair bit about hunting, and these cheap ladder stands work. And when you're a kilometer, like everything back here, the stand, the barrel, right there, all the bait, I've had to drag or carry. So this, I cut everything at home to length, had the 2x4s slung, dragging behind me, and my backpack full of the shorts, carried the top in my hand, and carried all this stuff out here, the straps, the netting there. So it's not a huge trek. There's a lot of people that walk further, but it's good exercise for me. Anyways, that's my ladder stand and barrel setup. That's my dog. That's my backpack and a can of bubbly. You gotta be a real man to drink this shit. I tell you what, when you're 40 years old, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds with a big beard, walking out of the grocery store, and you've got 6 cases of a rainbow of bubbly, you gotta be a man. And the old SKS, she's out, she's free, she's ready to rock. And this is the view from the top. Started from the bottom, now we're here. There's the barrel. And I'm not too worried about having a sight window. I could see a bear. I could see, a shape moving through the forest here. It's a little more open over here, but I'm not really worried about any of that being clear enough to shoot, because I want that bear at that barrel with his right front leg up in that hole, quartering away from me with a nice, clean broadside shot. That's the shot I'm going to take. If it's anything else, we're just out here watching animals. So, aside from all that rambling, you can probably tell I'm trying to get some thoughts out here. I've recently been wondering if I have undiagnosed ADD. I don't think I have ADHD because I'm missing the hyperactive. I'm lazy as they come, but I guess I have a lot of interests. I have a ton of things I want to do. It's just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other. It's hard to execute, man. And I've seen a lot of memes and stuff lately and quotes that I can't quite think of perfectly right now. But I've never been a planner. I fly by the seat of my pants. Trying to start a business that way is difficult for sure. But having a perfect plan, planning too much, waiting for the perfect time, you're absolutely never going to achieve anything doing that. Executing on no plan or poor plan and just getting up every day and doing something is better than doing nothing. So what I hope to turn this channel into is just sharing my journey of trying to execute on that and live the life that I want to live. I don't need to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. I want to have a good, reliable truck one day, not a piece of shit, and be able to take time in my life with my kids when they're young. Well, I'm 40 and I've got a 5-year-old and 2-year-old. It's getting tough to keep up. So if I want to do these things with them, I want to do them now. And you can't do that 9 to 5ing. Some people can, but I mean, if I really wanted to get going now and have a solid retirement, I'd be gone 6 days a week. I'd have to work crazy overtime doing whatever I wind up doing. And even then, I just can't punch a clock. It's not in me to go into the same place every day and do the same fucking thing. It's just, I'd rather just Hail Mary, throw it all to the wind, and put my money on me. So anyways, if you've been following my channel and you've subscribed and you're not a Russian bot or from some bot farm, and you're watching this and you want to help out, head over to WilderTech.ca is my webpage. It's rough. It's a work in progress. I'm learning everything. With everything I'm doing, I'm just learning one day at a time. Mistake, pivot, continue. So WilderTech.ca if you want to check out some of my early creations and items I have on sale there. And then you can get the links to my socials, but I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll throw the links in this video. I'm going to change the whole page around, rebrand it, and tie it all into the socials for WilderTech. And yeah, we're going to keep cranking stuff out on the CNC, and I'll try and share some of those projects with you guys. I think it's really important that a lot of my customers see how much go into something that looks relatively simple. And I'm new, I understand, you don't have a name. I'm not going to ask $500 for something that it's not going to come out exactly how I want right off the hop. So anybody that's supported me up to this point, oh my God, I appreciate you. You've helped. Looking back 2 months, 3 months when I started, that was zero. I was making nothing, and I still feel like I'm at zero. I'm probably technically in the negatives, but I've made progress. There's people, some of my work is out there. People are talking about things that I make. I've got some followers on social media, and yeah, we're just gonna try and use my diverse, God, I'm fucking rambling, but my arm's getting sore. I'm gonna try and use my diverse experience and all the things I'm interested in. Like, obviously I've done a fair bit of video editing. I've tried to do gaming channels.
The 3 best words I would use to describe you are as follows, and I quote: Stag! 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 Yeah! Oh, yeah, yeah!
Lumberjack Outdoors, done trip videos, gear review, whatever, torture test, bushcrafty, rambling again, but I gotta be outside. I can't do the same thing in a shop all day, every day. I also like the idea of having some passive income from YouTube, social media, whatever, so we're gonna do it all. I'm gonna break my life up when I get frustrated. Like, I went pretty hard the first month and a half, 2 months, as most people do, and I burnt myself out. I got tired of it. Obviously, success doesn't come easily. I knew that wouldn't happen, but it's still hard. It's hard to just keep pushing through when you're not seeing any results, and I've had a few wins, but looking back now, sitting here thinking about it, it's all progress. I'm closer to my goal of having the freedom I want to have in the work that I do and the life that I live than I ever have been in my life right now. And I just got to keep that rolling, man. So, 2 days from now, I'm heading out into the interior with my 5-year-old. He's been camping a couple times. We took him out when he was 2 years old into Algonquin, but just did a paddle-in trip. So me and him, no dog, nobody else. We're going to go portage in one lake in Algonquin for 2 nights and start making core memories, I guess. I know it's kind of cliche, everyone says it, but I was thinking about it, and I want his earliest memories of hanging out with me to be in places like this. So I'm fortunate enough to live 5 minutes away from somewhere that there's deer, bear, moose, coyotes, there's squirrels, there's grouse out here. I can bring him out anytime and show him this. And the older he gets, the more capable he gets, the further I'm going to push him. And we're going to do some cool stuff together. And then when his little brother, who is shaping up to be he is the wild child, he's going to be a bruiser. So when I've got the two of them trucking stuff over at Portage for me, man, we're going to go places. I guess Mom can come too. I don't know. Ah, shit. Okay. Well, hopefully I can edit this video down into something concise. I've rambled enough here. Let me climb down the ladder here, finish my drink, give the dog another splash of water, and then let this place settle in. The squirrels will come back. I'm sure the coons will be back tonight. And maybe a bear or two. And if there's any pictures, I didn't check to see. I imagine there's probably at least raccoons on the camera because all the apples I put out yesterday are gone. I was out here yesterday. I didn't realize I'd be getting these apples today, but blah, blah, blah. Anyways, there should be some pictures on the camera. I'll try and roll those in to this rambling, maybe narrate over it a bit. Through the magic of editing, I will make this something presentable that hopefully people will watch. I don't want to get out of this chair. I can't wait until this spot's, the bears are settled in here a little bit more and I can start sitting, because I just love sitting in the bush and watching things happen, man. It's a whole new perspective. Get 10, 12 feet off the ground and just watch nature. We'll see you guys in the next one, whether it's probably going to be a wild video again, but there'll be some tech stuff too. We're going to keep the wild in WilderTech. Keep the wilder in WilderTech. However you want to say it. I'm not picky. I feel like I should add, as I'm walking out here, I want to bring my boys out here and I want them to obviously enjoy hunting, fishing, camping, canoeing, just being in the bush, being outside, enjoying all the things that there are to enjoy here in Canada. That being said, I know they're going to be who they are. They're going to be whatever they're going to be. Whether or not they continue to hunt through their adult life and pursue it, I'm not overly worried about that. Sure, it'd be great, but they're going to do what they want to do. The important thing is going to be to give them the confidence and the skills that go along with this. I just feel like it's such an edge knowing that you can safely handle a firearm, paddle a canoe, swim, navigate in the wilderness, find food, prepare food, hike long distances, do hard things. Man, I've been on some hikes completely dehydrated, run down, and it is incredible what your body can do if you just have the mental fortitude to push yourself through it. Tiny steps, you can go a long way. So that is what I want to impart on them. It's not a do-all, be-all, end-all if they don't continue hunting through high school into their 20s. But there is a lot of value in the confidence and some of the basic skills that are incredibly lacking in our modern society. I was talking about this with my wife the other day. Here we go again, but I think my generation, our generation, wherever we fall, we're on the kind of bridge, the millennials and Gen Z, I think, what you would say. We're the last ones that grew up without cell phones. Come home, you hear it all the time now. Come home and the streetlights are out. You call, so you want someone to come out and play, you got to call their house and talk to their parents. Hey, Mrs. Jones, can Benny come out and play? Not anymore. Every kid's got a damn cell phone. And that's going to be the way it is. Technology's great. There's a lot of advantages. But we're going to be the ones that bridge the gap, which is something I'm just learning myself and trying to do. Is figure out how to balance this world of bad news, media, in your face, blue light all day long, high stress, war, shit economy, and still maintain some mental clarity to the point where you're able to function, be there for your family, and still do the things you want to do and have good experiences. And yeah, there's some Cabin River Outdoors. It's a channel I really like, but it's just Hold on here. Look at this. You see that? She's been impaled by a stick through the collar. I don't know how you did that, Indy, but you're lucky. Alright, I gotta help this dog. Yeah, so Cabin River Outdoors. I feel like his name, your name, if you see this, I think his name's Sean. And he's just, I love watching him because he lives in an unassuming township, middle of nowhere in a valley in BC. The only way to get to his property is by a rough trail, a very, very rough trail, or a river access. No hydro, no services, nothing. And he's living out there trying to make it just off of YouTube income. And he's got some solar power battery packs. He's got himself a freezer out there. He's got a few cabins, wood stoves. He's been working away, Starlink, and it's just, he's done it. He's found the balance. I've probably walked, not paying attention to where I'm going. Gotta get off the trail in a minute. He's found the balance of technology and still living in the wilderness. He's still connected with the world around him. He's got access to everything, all the benefits of modern living, short of Amazon deliveries, which, at the end of the day, it's getting a little fucking excessive. Probably one of the most wasteful services as far as fuel and packaging and harm to the environment goes is Amazon. I'm guilty, I use it a lot, but there it is anyway. Yeah, it's just bridging the gap, technology, wilderness, finding balance in your life. Or maybe there's people that are happy living in the city and being plugged in 24/7. I'm sure there are, but man, if I'm not out in the bush, if I'm not paddling a canoe, hunting something, exploring, I turn into a miserable, self-loathing asshole. And just a small walk like this, a little bit of exercise, fresh air, just recharges me. If I do this every 2 or 3 days, just a little walk in the bush, I'm good. And the more I get out, the better I'll be. Kids. Modern living, technology, balance is what I'm trying to say. Confidence, lost skills, self-reliance in, whatever the situation is. Self-reliance doesn't necessarily mean you're whittling a fish hook out of bone in the middle of nowhere. That's one way to put it, but the skills that come out of the wilderness, living and moving out here, transfer directly into rural life, urban life. It's all work ethic, man. It's just there's no easy way to do things out here. You want to get a bear, you got to put the work in. You want to get a deer, you got to put the work in. You got to track, bait, find game trails. Months and months, hundreds of hours, miles walked, carry weight, and then, bang, you pull the trigger. You got a bear, you got a deer. If I shoot a 300, 250 pound plus bear back there, even a 200 pounder, even a 150 pounder, a small to medium deer, dragging a deer a kilometer through the bush, it ain't easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but most people go to Zayre's and buy their meat pre-killed, pre-butchered on a shelf. Work ethic. It's one thing. Had a lot of shitty jobs. I've left some jobs poorly. I've been disgruntled and run down and just fucking walked out, man. But work ethic, especially, is one thing. When I got out of tree work, man, I was tired of just beating my body up. I don't mind working. I like exercise. But I want to do it for me. I've got a very strong work ethic, but I need to do it for a good reason. I don't mind breaking my back, busting up my legs and wearing out my joints, but I want to use the remainder of the health that I have and the time that I have to do things that I want to do with my life. Not shovel fucking holes for someone else's plumbing issues or slug chunks of tree around. Throw 80-pound rounds of hardwood up into the back of a truck. Unless it's for my own wood stove. Unless I'm heating my house with it. Or maybe I've got good neighbors one day. Helping them out. Helping the community directly around me. I'm not lining someone else's pocket anymore. Maybe one way or another, that's all you're doing at the end of the day, but try and cut out the middleman here. Get the tax write-offs. And have the freedom to pull the kids out of school in the middle of the week, which I'm doing next week, and go camping. That's what we're doing. That's the goal. That's the life. That's the target. I'm gonna keep her on track. And my arm, I've been walking this whole time holding this fucking cell phone up. It's a crappy old cell phone, but we're doing it. Hopefully the audio's okay. I'm back, baby.